Okay, so welcome to LCS Content Creator Podcast. So, why should you listen to me? Well, I am a mindset and confidence coach, an inner alignment teacher, and student because we all are. And this video is about why I think you should choose to start a why you should start a podcast. And the reason for that is, well, obviously there is a lot of different ways to start to build momentum and space in your life for things that matters to you on a deeper level than, just a survival level, but on the level where we want to connect with the inner alignment, where I think everything, all the beauty, all the true value really comes from. And when I started this journey in August 2025, I knew that I needed to start messy because I was stuck in the phase of planning, maybe creating a YouTube video, release it, feeling a little bit excited, proud, and anxious all at the same time. But then a couple of weeks in, I felt like, no, but that was the wrong direction. Maybe this direction is the better one to go. And I got stuck in this loop of taking actually one step. I took, the brave steps. And that was something that I'm grateful for now because I know the value in that. But for me, the problem after that growth of actually knowing that whenever I felt fear, I started to translate it as a sign that, yeah, okay, that's my cue for me to just do it anyway, feel the fear and do it anyway, pretty much like that. But my pitfall was that I restarted. I restarted because I have so many ideas and I want to serve everybody. I still do. I still do. But without me actually making the commitment to like, okay, even if I don't know exactly the direction, I know that it's 52 steps ahead. And the reason for 52 is because the goal was to release one video every single day on YouTube for at least 1 year. So 52 weeks. And so far I have done a pretty good job doing that. During the holidays, I think there were like 1 week, one and a half week or something like that I actually missed. But that was actually a good thing because I needed like this pause so that I could make like a re-evaluation. Okay, I set this direction, but is this real? Is this still the direction I want to go? And I needed to start, and I do believe there is power in starting messy and allowing yourself to suck. Allowing yourself to suck is the path of allowing yourself to grow, allowing yourself to move in a direction where your dream lies. So, and in my beginning, I wanted to teach confidence because I know that there are um, 3 types of confidence. The one that you practice, you feel the fear and do it anyway. And the confidence that is built on the more soft value, the systems, that your belief system, your mindset, um, and how we can work with that to make default programs that serves us. So yeah, we feel the fear and do it anyway, but instead of feeling this dreadful fear all the time we want to grow, we start to build this new relationship with things that is unknown, because our mind is pretty much equipped to detect danger. And therefore it's constantly seeking for danger, because millions of years ago that was the function of keeping us alive. But today, there is pretty much no immediate danger, at least for us, at least not for us fortunate and blessed people that lives in the world where there is no war and so on, but we still fear. But we still fear, like, talking on stage or changing career, and we confuse that with danger. So that is what I teach. And also I teach the mindset work behind the approach we can adapt to, how we can coach ourselves, and how we can build a vault of resourceable assets, both that we can turn to by the application of applying, systems, action steps, and so on, but also build those strategies and systems as a bank within ourselves that we can go to and, like, okay, but shouldn't I be using, like, a powerful coaching question here? I feel fear now because I wanted to make this YouTube video and I just started the camera and I felt this freeze. Okay, how can I change perspective? How can I make this practice? How can I make this step of my journey more enjoyable?
It was a mistake. Once of all I made was to put my faith in us and see my independence fade away. I wanted to dare to take a chance. Next time I will jump right in, and I was caught in your romance. You are the bridge to get over him.
So that is what I'm here to teach, but I'm also here to teach you that inner alignment is more than just reaching goals. Reaching goals is wonderful and all of that, but inner alignment is creating space for things that resonates from within you. I love this saying. I love this world. I love this word, inner world. When you step into your flow state, somebody very near to me said this. It's like my inner world is expanding and it has no limitation. And I think that is a beautiful metaphor and a sign that in that specific moment, we are tapping into the present and we connect with the source from our inner world. And for many, and I know this to be true based on my own story and experience, many of us in the modern world spend most of our time at a corporate job. And maybe you are one that is blessed to feel good about your job. I have been blessed in terms of liking my job, but what I started to realize, spending so much on my precious, we all have this thing called time. Time is a currency that we cannot get any more of in this experience, in this current physical form of ours. And I felt like I spent mine slowly dying. I felt like all the dreams that I had, without even recognizing them, they started to disintegrate. I felt like I were pretty much I I I started to become like this robot, like a system that which only goal was to fuel the system in order to sustain my survival. And this may sound very depressing, and it was. And then I was still one of the lucky ones that, have a rich life when it comes to friends and family, and blessed with health, uh, and consider myself to be very blessed. But I felt like I'm slowly dying before. It's like my soul is dying within me. The soul that is me is dying, but that I state myself, I, Emma, the body, the mind, it's not thriving, but it's keep on, it's like an engine that just sustains. And that was really a wake-up call for me. And the journey from quitting my job on the date, and for me at that time, that was like the most scary thing you could do. I know it in my heart to be true, and like were at that time at a job that, without blaming the job, but I did that then I did blame the job. I felt like, you are making me sick. I saw all the signs of mental illness. I started to lose my language. I forgot about, I could call a colleague, and when she or he answered, I was like, you know. So that was a very crucial time in my life as a wake-up call, and I were very angry. And I realized now that I needed to be angry, because not because anger itself has any value or power, but it can be not a force that we should um, try to create, but when it's there, it can show us something. Okay, we are moving in a direction that gives us this fuel that feels so bad, but maybe a little bit good at the same time. And that fuel can take us in away from that direction into the direction that we want to go. So um so that is this very long background is about leading me to the point that I'm trying to get to here, and that is, I I know how it is to struggle, and I know the fear when the idea of quitting a job that is good on paper, without any savings or financial securities, how scary that can be. But I also know that it doesn't have to be. If you step into the perspective of what truly matters, and also learn that there is no guarantee in lives anyway. So thinking that a job is like a guarantee for safety, that is just a false illusion. And when we understand that, it's easier to quit. But I'm not here to tell you to quit your job. I am here to tell you to build space, to create space so that you can start create, because you are a creator being. You can create space for things that matters for real, and that is purpose and passion and inner alignment. Um, and that doesn't have to be this purpose, this passion, this super exciting thing. It can be a variation of things, and I would say it actually is a dimension of things. Um, Purpose can sometimes be following your curiosity. Purpose can sometimes be feeling harmony. And purpose can sometimes be,
Baby, do's and don'ts has been haunting me lately. Not for you, I'm not for everyone, not made for your tools. Collecting needs of validation,
creating those really bold, wild dreams. And I think that within purpose, all of those components are apart. Not apart as separate. I mean, all of those are included. Um, so you can start this journey uh, having your 9 to 5, and it can start with you making time, meaning block time in your calendar 15 minutes per day. It's about starting to use this concept called time, and instead of letting it run you and control your life, you use it to make sure that you spend this time doing things that feels meaningful when you do it, but also will build into not only momentum, but will eventually turn into things you couldn't even imagine when you started it. So why should you start a podcast? As I began by saying, was my YouTube channel was, I wanted to serve everybody. I wanted to serve you who wants to leave your 9 to 5. I wanted to serve uh, every one of you who wants to become a content creator. And I'm here to tell you that you are already a content creator. You are a creator being. And now it's time to use that creative power and build this version of you, the content creator version. Because here's the thing, many talk about becoming this. You need to step into this new identity of yours. Identity is limitation. The identity you have in your past, the story you tell about yourself, is what has get you places, but also limit you in the past. And yeah, you can create a new identity. But the thing is, when we limit ourselves to any concepts, okay, I am this, I am that, da 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 da, it can feel wonderful and powerful for the time being, but you are so more than that. You don't have to limit yourself to anything. Because if you think of it, you are this one version when you go to your work. You are this other version when you talk to your kids about, I don't know, not using screens too much. And you are this version when you have a romantic evening with your partner, or when you're on a date. And you are this version when you feel super, silly and making a silly TikTok video, and you are this version on a funeral. And the reason why I say this is because you are not tied to one specific. You are not either or the other. You are all of them, not at the same time, but you can fuse them. And I think the reason why I want to talk to this is because when I heard about, stepping into this new identity, I was like, but I'm already so many different personalities. How can I pick one? Yeah, I want to have success in my business, but stepping into this businesswoman, da da da. What does that mean when I am working out or hang around in my studio making music? I was like, what? So I'm here to tell you, you don't have to pick an identity. You are endless versions, but you can learn how to consciously create versions that you like to step into and reduce the versions that you want to get rid of. The versions that you say to yourself, you are lazy, you are this or that, or maybe you can just embrace that because I am super productive. That's a limitation, but I love to act super productive and get super productive things done. But I also love to lay on the couch and binge watch Netflix. Lazy, super productive. I mean, they all fits into this current form of mine, this body-mind vehicle that I'm currently operating through. Okay, but anyway, why should you start a podcast? Okay. I never seem to get to the point. I am practicing. And that is also what I want you to know, that you are already a beautiful teacher and a coach. But yeah, you are also a student. You are a student of all the things that you want to learn, of all the growth and stretching you want to do in things you already know. But you are also a student, a student. You're also a teacher and a coach in all the things you already know. You can teach things that you don't even considering yourself knowing: how to drive a car, how to boil eggs, how to, I don't know, paint a flower. Things that you don't even consider yourself knowing because it's a default programs. Um, so I say this to you because that is what I want to give you on this channel. I want to serve you as a teacher and a coach. Uh, as I began by saying, I already work as a mindset and confidence coach, but I'm also an inner alignment teacher because I teach that, but I'm also a student of that. And I was juggling all the different strategies and tips: niche down, pick a niche, um, be only, show the stuff that you are the teacher in. But I felt like, yeah, but I want you to give you the spectra of dimensions that, yeah, I can really teach this stuff. And these are systems and strategies that I swear by that have worked for me. But here I want to invite you in the lab where we explore, when you can watch me have ideas, being very, authentic in that direction of the journey, and show you. And and the reason for that is because, for me, I think that builds trust, yeah, but it also builds a connection. For me anyway, I love coaches and teachers that I both look up to, meaning that I know, okay, they have experience and expertise in the things that I want help with, but I never feel like they are superior to me, because I don't believe in things as superior. And I think but anyway, I can be the one that comforts them or help them where they lack expertise, or lack the incredible, super trendy strategy that I know. So that's why I'm going to act as your coach and teacher, but also as your friend and lab rat, lab mate. I want to invite you to the lab. And for me, the podcast, I have this firm philosophy that when we share from a place of alignment, yeah, what is that? When we are present enough, when the portal of the present moment is open enough so that we are tuned in to that higher selves of ours, or rather to the source of us. This is not the source. This mind is not even the source. The mind is a magnificent instrument. The body is also an instrument, a vehicle, and we are blessed to experience life through them. But the source from where we come from, and the source that we actually are, the infinite being that we are, the creator being that we are, when we are tuned in enough to it, meaning that we are not confused by all the ideas of time and concepts and blocked by the blockages created by our mind, and we feel the sense of inspiration. And when that is, energy flowing to and through us, and we feel this, and then we let that flow to our mind and our body, and we filter it and make an idea of it. And I think that when we share that idea that comes from the seed of the infinite source of everything, we are obviously giving the most value to the world. And I think a podcast is a very good stage for that. because a podcast leaves room for silence and pauses, and that leaves room for introspection. And introspection is the guidance to the infinite potential and value within us all. And even if you don't know yet what your business, you want to become a content creator, but you lack the confidence, you don't know where to start with a podcast, because
Feel the pleasure and the pain. Now you smile, soon it rain. But we don't care, we lost all sense.
I know when we hear all the tips about making YouTube videos and having a clear idea of where you're going with it, that is powerful, and it can really, really serve both your audience and you in what you want to deliver. But that can also be very overwhelming. That can also be the blockage that keeps you from actually starting, because you have not decided yet on exactly which niche or direction you want to go or who to serve. You don't know your ideal audience, your target audience, so you cannot start. Well, I'm here to tell you, yeah, you not only can start, I think you should start. Because when you start, that is when the path unfolds. That is when the different doors of opportunities and direction is revealing themselves. So, starting a podcast is a beautiful way to give yourself the space to create for others, to create room for what you want more room for in your life. And you are planting seeds for yourselves, because when you're entering the stage of your little podcast, you will detect seeds of inspiration when you start to talk, and you will discover new dimensions within you. I will be back. I just need a little pause. Okay, so I'm back. I just needed to heat up. My coffee has turned a little bit cold. But, okay, podcast. So let me just end with this. If I wouldn't have started, I would not have get to the point where I'm at today. Yeah, I still tend to want to serve everybody, but I have discovered that I am here to help you, complete beginners in this journey, who feels like you need inspiration and different tools to get you started, to just start to even dream about becoming this content creator. And the systems and the steps that you can take to actually start to build on that vision of yours without letting fear stop you, but also without having to push yourself so hard so that it feels completely overwhelming. I want you to recognize that fear is not the truth. But I also want to help you not build a relationship with fear, but learn how to not welcome fear, to take that large part in your journey. And so I'm here to really inspire you and coach you to build that confidence, but also to share on you, and maybe with a little tough love, remind you that start great, keep creating for the sake of your journey to evolve, and for your business to, you plant the seeds of your business, even if it starts just like a passion project, but plant those seeds and start to watch it grow. And thirdly, create for yourself, create space for yourself for creation, because we are creator beings, so it's fully natural for us to want to create. And that led me to wanting to make more room for the podcast style. And the reason for that is because, as stated already, I do believe that when we share from a place of alignment, meaning that we receive the idea, we receive the sensation, we receive the wow feeling, and when we learn to share that immediately, I do think that we are providing the highest form of value, because the value is energetic and vibrates with the energy from our spirit. And that was so important for me when I started this journey. And still I did, all the research, studying other creators and YouTube creators. And I was tuning into their advice about the thumbnail and title and packaging. And I, I, I was so inspired by it, but I also felt this resistance, because I felt like how I interpreted it at that time, how I interpreted that at that time was with the perspective of, but I don't want to constrain my beliefs or the naturalness in the creation by having to do things in a specific order. And I realized that I needed to create a path for both direction to coexist. So I still do believe that when we share from a place of authenticity, and authenticity does not mean deciding on this is me and this is how I share things. That is not authenticity. That is a restriction from your ego mind identity. And then you can have something called your brand voice, where you consciously decide that, okay, this is how I deliver, and this is what I talk about, and this is the energy or personality that I show here. And that is another thing. But I mean, don't confuse authenticity with you thinking that you are this fixed version. That is not authenticity. Authenticity is sharing what feels naturally to you in any given specific present moment. But I needed to create a path where both those directions could coexist. The direction that comes from within me, what is like the foundation in my philosophy, but also I love to evolve and grow, and these are tips and strategies that we can apply like any other wonderful concept, instrument, thing. We apply them in order to create things. If I want to create a ballad, and maybe I use a guitar, that is the instrument that I use to create this song. And so we can apply the concepts of these different type of strategies. And I realized that, okay, I needed to make room for both of them to coexist, and also remember that I could change my perspective regarding the recommendations or the strategies of YouTube growth. And what I discovered was, okay, so if I think of my title, thumbnail, and hook, the beginning of the video, to, hook you in and deliver, you promise, like, okay, you clicked on this video for these reasons, and this is what I'm going to deliver to you. I'll give like a little mini presentation of that. I started to think, yeah, but maybe that is not polishing the content by changing the actual content, but by polishing the visuals so that the content that this actually could serve, if it reached them, then maybe being clear on what the content will be about can help with that. And taking psychology into encounter, yeah, making a title a little bit like a news, headline, like the absolute 3 tips you need to try now in order to get success. Yeah, it can feel false and it can feel like clickbait. I really felt that in the beginning. But when I stepped into a perspective like, okay, but this is how the psyche works. So in order for a person who would really probably benefit from whatever content the video, the podcast is about in this specific piece. And how do you know that? Yeah, probably because we have experienced that for ourselves in the past. Maybe I want to lose 10 kilos and I see a headline like, lose 10 kilos quickly. And that makes me click on it because my brain wants instant reward. But within that article, maybe that is, the real value. So yeah, it was clickbait in terms of me clicking on something because my mind would instantly want to click on that. And within that article, that is actually true value, stating like, yeah, you can lose weight quickly, but have you considered and think of this and other things that would actually support me? So that is one way to perceive the packaging formula. And that is something that I'm going to work with a little bit this year. And the reason for that is since I want to share and spread my belief that sharing in the moment of inspiration, moment of creation, is where we serve the greater good. We serve from a place of more pureness and value, since we are more aligned with ourselves. With that being said, wouldn't it be wonderful if we know that to be true, but we also apply strategies and systems by heart, by learning them? Okay, this is the idea. How can I deliver on that? By grabbing my phone and start recording and then publish it on YouTube or Spotify or whatever we want to release our content. So that is like my own stretching goal for the year. I call it learn it by heart. Because I have used AI a lot, ChatGPT, especially in order when it comes, not regarding the content, but as an assistant in proofreading my text and things like that, because I spell like, my spelling is awful. A little dicks, I don't know what it's called, but anyway, my spelling is awful, so for me that AI helps me a lot with that. But to be honest, when it comes to the packaging, because since I resisted the idea of packaging because it felt like I don't want to change the content, and I don't want to be authentic and doing like clickbait things. I want to be authentic in, okay, this is what you will get. So then, therefore, this is a little bit paradoxical maybe, but I use AI, don't have to bother with that part. Like, okay, this is the video, come up with a title and thumbnail. And that kept me from learning the psychology. Even if I studied and realized the tips, I understood it, up here, but I didn't implement that knowledge. So that is what I'm going to do today, this year, in order to serve my philosophy, to be able to create from the inspired idea, make something of it and share it with the world, and make it attractive enough so that the people that will actually benefit from it would be reached by it. So that's one thing. And for me, then, the podcast is like the space where I can share all the spectrums with you. I can serve you as the teacher, coach, and guide. I can provide you with actual steps and strategies that I've used, that have worked for me, and also provide you with avoidance steps. Like, okay, this was my pitfalls in a way, so I wouldn't do this if I were you. Things like that, the more what should we call it? More of the expertise version of me, where I'm the expert. But I also want to provide you the journey, to build a relationship with you, so that you can get inspired by real authenticity, meaning that sometimes when we hear success stories afterwards, when people are very generous in sharing them, we still are too blinded by their amazing shine of their success. So we're like, yeah, but it was probably different for you. But I want to invite you to my lab. I will have this playlist, this maybe eventually a new channel, but it will be a playlist on this channel, at least for now, that I will call the Lab series, where I really invite you on the ideas as I receive them. And okay, this is a new idea that I came up with, or this is a tip that I stumbled on this week. I will try this out. Join me. And the podcast for me is like the bridge between the two directions, the bridge between the expert Emma, the coach, the mentor, the guide, the teacher, and the bridge to the other version, the lab version, the student version, where I inspire you as a student, inspire you with my own small successes, but also in terms of I know how it feels like to struggle with this or that. So a podcast is, I view the podcast as a stage and a bridge, as a little hub, a space of birth where you can give yourself enough space for silence or slowing things down, so that you can actually capture and see the seeds that comes to you and share it and plant it. And when you share it and plant it, you will see that those seeds and the seeds in specific, how it starts to move in a direction. And then you can pick on that and make a YouTube video of it, where you really teach. Once you have seen that seed grow into a beautiful tree, then you can give the teaching. Like, okay, this was the beginning and this was the path, and it worked. And also, this could make this work probably faster because I experienced this or that during that growth. And in terms of being the bridge, since I do believe in the dynamics of us all and the versions of us all, I think the podcast is a beautiful way to invite more of your versions. If you are making a educational video, maybe it's not the time and place to leave so much room for storytelling or letting people get to know you. Because the thing is, when people get to know you, they know why they should trust you. You build trust, because trust doesn't uh, derive from I'm the best, I'm successful. Trust is, it looks different, obviously, for different types of people. But for me, I have always had trouble to believe in people that only show one side of things, like the shiny side, like this is amazing, this is wonderful, and I am wonderful, and I have never had any problems. For me, it's like very one-dimensional. And for me, in order for me to believe in something, I love I love success stories, and I love it's wonderful to just, follow somebody. That's awesome. Sometimes we want that, but I want depths. I want dimensions. And when somebody says, I am I am awesome. I'm the best in this area, but I suck at this. For me, that shows like, yeah, you are being honest. Because if you were awesome in everything you did in life, for me, it's like you are living in a lie. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't believe in yourself. I love when people believe in themselves. Um, that is not what I'm going here with. But I think showing different dimensions of you, like this is a thought that I had when I went to sleep last night. This is a struggle that I'm currently going through. I have all these things going good for me in my business. I love to share that with you, but I also struggle because I feel like I don't have enough time. I really need a better system when it comes to planning my time. Not only will we invite others to provide value for us, and I think that is also a wonderful thing to recognize the value exchange. Like we all have value to give one and one another. um, and by recognizing that, there is no shame in saying I am great. It's not bragging, saying I am great in coaching you in getting confidence. I'm great at that. I am awesome. uh, I am, you know but I suck at managing my time, and I suck in not planning too much. There's no shame in, it's no bragging in stating I consider myself being pretty good at this. And I had heard a lot of people um recognize me and my job in those areas. Maybe it's not for you. I'm not saying that I will be for you, but I consider myself, and I'm proud of that. No bragging, because I can also say I suck at this, because then I also invite others to say, but I'm pretty good at time management. I suck at confidence. Maybe you can help me. Yeah, I can help you and you can help me. Embrace being proud, and not never feel ashamed. So podcasting can be a wonderful bridge, I think, in creating space for you, for your own growth, sharing your value without always have to know, like, okay, who is this for? Who will this serve? But just expressing, it's I think podcast, did I say blogging? Okay, podcast is a wonderful space of self-expression. Expressing yourself from places of authenticity, both regarding your struggles, um, owning that there is no shame in struggling, but also in terms of honoring that you deserve a space where you can explore and create what you want to explore and create at a specific moment. Because here is the truth. Here is the thing. So many are having, communities around ourselves that we love the people in them, but they do not understand us. They do not support us. And in this day and age, when we are so blessed that we can actually create, all of us can create our own little universe. And it doesn't have to be little because the universe is infinite, but we can create our own universe on YouTube, on a podcast, on wherever. But I prefer YouTube and podcasting. I love that. You can create your own universe, your own universes, and just express the versions of you that you currently are, and let that spread and serve whomever will be, that aligns with that frequency of yours. And I think you can relate that even if you, those few times that you maybe dared to share a little bit about your dream, maybe you want to say like, I thinking about starting a YouTube channel, or I have this dream to help people lose weight by eating keto, or I feel like keto has helped me with my ADHD and I would love to teach others. Even if you have had those moments that you dare to share this and people like, what? Or what, you? Or, giving those objections, remember, they are not about you. They don't understand you, not because they are mean or anything. They cannot see through your lens. They have their own unique lens that may or may not be serving them, but they don't have the capacity to shift their perspective. So when they know you as this version, okay, this is Emma, this is John, this is Matilda, and you are providing a completely another dimension, like, I want to become a nomad. And they were like, what? You're a businesswoman having this corporate job. And when people, okay, here's the thing. The ego, mind identity, the intellect is calibrated to seek for danger. And anything that is unknown is always a potential danger, a potential threat to the brain. And therefore, when people know you, you are like an extension of their comfort zone. They know who you are, they know what you like, they know what you do. And then you say, I want to shred, completely and step into this version of me that you have never seen before. That is danger to their brain. It's not like they consciously don't want you to change. If they love you, they don't consciously don't want you to change. And I think that is enough to discourage anyone. I do know. And that's why it's so wonderful this day and age when you don't have to. First of all, you should never ask for permission from anybody. That's the rule of thumb. Rule of thumb is never ask for permission from anybody. Secondly, don't ask for advice from people that are not living the life that you want to create for yourself. And thirdly, don't invest too much of the time that you could put into actually creating space, creating and planting seeds. Don't use that time trying to convince people that will not be convinced until you succeed. Don't waste your precious time. You are not here to convince anybody. You are here to live your lives on your terms. So, start a podcast. Yeah. So I will actually wrap this episode up and I will share with you a little bit more. I can just give you like a little, what should we call it? Tease. If you stay this long, that mean because maybe you've dropped off and it's perfectly fine. But if you stay this long, maybe that is your sign to subscribe to the channel, because maybe that's a sign that you actually resonates with this. And if you do, subscribe, because if you don't, chances are that you will not find me again. You will not see me again in the pace of all the other great creators out there and the algorithms, noise and everything. So subscribe. And a little tease for this year, and this is also, to build that accountability with myself. That is one podcast episode weekly. Wednesdays is the day that I will be going for. Maybe this will not be released on a Wednesday since I don't have my systems in place yet. I need to work on them as well. Tuesdays will be like my vlog day. I'm not sure. Okay, we will. Okay, so I will have the vlog episodes and I will have the lab episodes. And the lab episodes is something that I'm really looking forward to invite you on the journey to create and explore and grow with me. And the vlog. So 3 types of content. I'll see you next Wednesday. So happy, grateful, and glad that you tuned in and stayed this long. Watch me. I'm just kidding. See you in the next episode.